Hi, I'm John,
And I'm Betsy.
and we're here to talk to you a little bit about our dream to retire and sail away on a sailboat. This is something that we've been working on for about 12 years, I guess.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready to kind of realize the exciting part of the dream. All the preparations have been going on for quite a while. We have been retired for 5 months, and in 2 months we're getting ready to move aboard our Fontaine Peugeot Helia 44 and start the liveaboard life. Right now our boat is in charter in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and that's kind of part of our preparatory journey, is finding a way to get a boat that we could learn to sail when we really couldn't use it full time yet. So one of the things where we started was basically, learning to sail, or even being interested in sailing. I had never sailed before. When we started this about 12 years ago, I knew nothing about sailing. And we had no dream of going sailing or cruising. It was really Betsy who initiated the first sailing adventure.
And I actually did that on one of our getaway weekends and saw an opportunity to introduce John to sailing. We ended up getting in touch with a Captain Steve down in Florida, and we went out for a 3-hour cruise, and it was a perfect day, perfect wind, and it was the part that got John very interested. So that is where we actually began.
Yeah, at the time we were in our mid-40s. We were trying to figure out where to live and what to do in retirement. At the time we were living in Louisville, Kentucky, so we were kind of landlocked, and so sailing really wasn't something that jumped out at us. We had never been exposed to sailing or living on a boat, so to speak. And so we just decided to make the leap and learn about it. And so I started doing research. I started at the time getting magazines and reading magazines, and I realized that people, traveled all over the world on their sailboats and lived on them full time, and it was a lifestyle that was incredibly exciting, and also it was adventuresome, and it really filled the need for us to travel. We love to travel, but it seems like we never have enough time in any location where we go, so we thought this could be a solution. So, the first step was to learn how to sail. We know people who have bought, fairly large, expensive boats without ever having sailed. But the thing that was important for us is that we kind of took it step by step, but also that we did it together. We didn't want one of us knowing a lot more than the other person. And you naturally develop your strengths and weaknesses with anything like this, but we wanted to take the training together. So I started doing some research on the internet and found a sailing center, not real close to our home, but within 4 hours drive. And we decided to sign up for the sailing lessons there. And Betsy can tell you a little bit about our first sailing lesson, 2-day sailing class.
So we signed up for an ASA sailing course, and our first boat was a Colgate, and small boat by comparison to what we have, but it was a great vessel to learn on. And I think that's where both John and I realized communication was the key. Although we know that, it was definitely enforced as we were learning to sail, and then we took the boat out on our own, and we had a lot of loud instruction going on.
Not yelling, just loud instruction.
So we both took turns at the helm and made it back to shore, but during that time it was an aha moment for both he and I on how important it is to understand terminology, understand the safety of being on a vessel regardless of the size, and have clear communication and never assume.
Yeah, I mean, we highly recommend the ASA courses. We've taken the keelboat 103, 104 a couple times, and we'll kind of get to that a little bit, but you know, it really gives you a lot of confidence when you learn how to do things, you know, correctly. It helps you understand the forces involved with sailing because you can injure yourself. And it gives you more confidence that you learn kind of in a group setting, and you're guided, you know. When we went out on our own the first time, which Betsy was talking about, yeah, that's when some of those lessons kind of came back to us, and so it was a good learning opportunity. After that first sailing adventure, we always look at each other after we do something, and we say, you know, are we having fun? Did we enjoy that? You know, or was that, you know, is one of us not enjoying the experience? And we both said, yeah, that was challenging, but it was fun. Let's keep going. And so then we chartered the boat on our own for half a day and had that experience, and then we decided we really were interested in catamarans. And so we thought, well, let's try a catamaran course. And so we went down to Florida and did a week-long live-aboard catamaran course with blue water sailing. And that was a good experience. It gave us a really good introduction to catamaran sailing, which is different than monohull sailing. We prefer it. That doesn't mean it's best for everybody, but that's what we enjoy. And it really gave us a good feeling for staying on a boat for a week, kind of living on the boat, although, you know, the couple nights we anchored out, but a couple nights we're at marinas. But it gave us a flavor for doing that, and that was really also a confidence builder. We kind of repeated keelboat 103, 104, but also added the catamaran certification and also, you know, coastal cruising, bareboating. So it was really good use of a week, and we really enjoyed it. And at the end of that, again, we said, we're having fun. You know, let's keep going. Unfortunately, at this point in our sailing adventure, plans got interrupted by health. We had to deal with cancer for about 2 years, and we were kind of off the water for about 3 years altogether. And but when we got healthy, we decided, hey, let's get back into the sailing. And so at that point, we decided, you know, we needed more experience with sailing in general, and really the way to get that is on monohulls that you charter, smaller monohulls that are easier to handle. The loads are not really high on the rigging, and it really gives you an understanding of the forces involved with sailing. Even if you're planning on going to a catamaran, you know, we recommend learning on a monohull.
Yes.
It really helps you understand the forces involved with sailing. And so we started, and we also wanted some bigger water than the lake that we were sailing on, Kentucky Lake. And so we went up to Lake Michigan, and we found a charter boat outfit there that we basically took a 2-day captain course, which is kind of like the ASA 104, 105, but it's not certified. And that gave us kind of a refresher, but it also gave the charter company confidence in us as charters. And then we were able to charter with them in South Lake Michigan, and we started just going out and doing day sailing. Go out for 4 hours or 6 hours and just practice what we'd been learning. Practice how to tack, practice how to jibe, practice different points of sail, practice dealing with the weather, deal with storms, things like that come up in Lake Michigan in the summertime. And we just kept learning and, you know, slowly building our sailing knowledge. And it took a couple of years because we didn't have but about a week or two each year to go sailing. We had kids that were in high school and they're busy in sports and getting into college. And so we were busy. We could only give about 2 weeks of the year, but we kept doing stuff every year. And then after we had gotten, you know, somewhat proficient or confident, we decided really the next step was to do a flotilla. And that's something we also highly recommend because we did a flotilla on Lake Michigan. It was about 10 boats and it went on for about a week. And we visited different ports, and it was guided. So there was a boat that was the lead boat, and I really enjoyed having people that were there to help us. There were more experienced sailors that gave us a lot of help with docking and just knowledge around the weather and getting into marinas and out of marinas, and it was nice to not do that all on our own. And
it also gave us the opportunity to really understand the sailing community. Prior to that, we were learning and going to courses and really doing it on our own through research. However, once we got on the flotilla, that's when the relationships started building in the sailing community, and it was very valuable.
Yeah, and I think, the women can all work together on different things that they were dealing with as far as docking and stuff like that. It's always nice when, women teach women. It's a different type of teaching.
Definitely different.
Than men teaching. And it, it really gave you a lot of confidence. And it really helped us to kind of, take the next step. That flotilla was in so that week-long flotilla was in the Grand Traverse Bay area near Traverse City, and Great Lakes Sailing is the one that puts it on each year. And it's really they call it the unsalted flotilla because obviously Lake Michigan is fresh water. So it was really a kind of a neat progress for us. And we actually did that a couple years in a row and just kind of started slowly moving up in the size of the boats that we were chartering, but we were still chartering, 32 to 35 foot monohulls, and they had all the necessary things on there for us to learn, the chart plotters and things like that. I do recommend. I did a lot of the navigating on my iPad with the Navionics app. I highly recommend that because when you go from boat to boat when you're chartering, sometimes it's hard to learn all the different chart plotters. So it's good to have something that you have experience with and confidence in when you're out navigating. So that's something that I recommend for chartering. But we just kept moving up, and we started getting to the point in our life where, maybe it was time to buy a boat. And we thought about, buying a starter boat, so to speak, like a mid 30 something monohull, and put it into charter up at Great Lakes. That crossed our mind, but we really didn't have a lot of time still because our kids were still not out of the house. I really think that you need at least 4 weeks of sailing time a year to really make buying your own boat,
worth the investment.
Yeah, worth the investment. Otherwise, it'll go out on charter maybe, but you're really not going to get the usage out of it. It would actually be more cost effective to just charter, and that's what we did, and we thought it worked out really well. We did start looking more seriously about what boat we thought we wanted to live on and travel the world in, and that's how we did end up buying a Fontaine Peugeot Helia 44, and we actually ordered that in 2017 because they do take a while to build, and it's 2021 right now. So, it took a couple years, to make all that happen. And we'll talk about a little bit more about boat choices and stuff like that in a future episode. But that's really what it took for us to get, kind of confident in our sailing ability. Again, every time we went on a flotilla, we asked ourselves,
are we having fun?
Are we having fun? And I think for Betsy too, she had to kind of learn, how she was going to enjoy living on the boat. I mean, I had my thoughts. I mean, what were your thoughts about as far as staying on the boat for a week?
Initially, it was different than day sailing, but being on there for a week, it was a change of mindset, realizing that you didn't need as much as you do when you're on land. And I think what I didn't realize is simplicity is good. Prior to that, you talk about it, you read about it, but experiencing it is different. And when things are simpler as far as your footprint, you really get to enjoy nature so much more, and relationships, because you're not bogged down with the burden of house cleaning or
Just boat cleaning.
boat cleaning. Yeah, just boat cleaning, but that's fun because you're in the water and you're around things, around nature.
Yeah, and we had to learn about a lot of things that are unique to boats, like
Yes.
marine heads and, galleys on boats. There's limitations, power management as far as, what you can and can't do as far as, power on a boat, whether you plug into shore, you have a generator. We found out how important shade was on a
Yes.
boat. We chartered a boat one time that didn't have much shade, and that was not our best sailing adventure. We realized you need to have shade because you just can't be out in the sun all day on a boat. And we also, really enjoyed, like Betsy said, the sailing community. I mean, it's just really kind of neat, and I'm sure that, people have, it's like with camping or any kind of thing where people are doing something together that they all enjoy. There's a commonality about it. People want to help each other. And we've got some good friends, from those sailing flotillas that we continue to go sailing with. One of those couples has come down and joined us on our boat in the Virgin Islands, and in 2 months, when we get ready to sail our boat from the Virgin Islands back up to the east coast of the United States, they're going to come with us. And it's just really cool having those relationships and those friendships. And we learn from each other. We help each other because they have different sailing experiences. We've chartered boats with them up on Lake Michigan, and so it's really enjoyable. And some of the couples have way more experience than we do. And so it's just really good to be around them and watch how they do things and really learn from them. You're constantly learning how to do things better, safer, and more efficiently on a boat. So that's the kind of the course that we took. It's taken us about 12 years to this point. We started in 2008 with our first sailing class. It doesn't need to go that slow. It doesn't need to go that fast. There's a lot of different price points with boats. Obviously, our boat is fairly expensive. But the beauty about sailing is, there's a price point for everybody.
Yes.
And there's a boat for everybody. And, whether you want to just live on your boat and do coastal cruising or, stay in the Great Lakes area or one of the coasts, or, do you want to go down to the Caribbean or the Bahamas or sail across an ocean? I mean, we believe that we're going to sail across oceans. We already taken one long blue water passage from the Chesapeake down to the U.S. Virgin Islands, and it wasn't an easy trip. We've got a video on the channel if you want to check it out, but it gave us a lot of confidence in our abilities and our boat, and it didn't really scare us off from blue water passages. It just kind of sobered us and made us realize, it can get rough out there, but with a proper boat, the proper equipment, proper training, experience, you can do it. Anybody could do it. And we're in our late 50s, which is kind of young for retirement, and we're fairly healthy, but we're not athletic, or we're not, we don't run marathons or go out jogging 5 miles, and we would like to be a little slimmer than we are, but we've been able to do all the physical things required for the lifestyle so far. So, and that's one of the reasons that also Betsy talked about being in tune with nature. We're hoping that it's going to be a healthy lifestyle for us also, and that we're going to be more active and more healthy in our retirement years because of that.
The one thing that I would like to add is it's really important to have someone to do it with. I know many people like being on their own and so forth, but I think as we age, just the companionship and having the right companion, and as John mentioned earlier, being a team. And I think that's one of the beauties of sailing, is when you're out and it's the two of you on the boat, you are a team. And it can be great.
Yeah.
It has been great. Challenging, but great.
And we have, between us, we have 7 children and 10 grandchildren. And so we've gotten quite a few of them on the boat. And one of our sons is helping us also bring the boat back from the U.S. Virgin Islands. And so we're eager to get our family involved. And I don't think any of them have really taken a hold of the sailing knowledge yet. But yeah, we're hopeful that this can be a family affair. And that's one of the reasons why we bought a bigger boat, is because, we want to have people join us.
Absolutely.
Friends and family. I mean, it's always more fun when people come along. So, I hope you have enjoyed this segment of our YouTube channel. Check out the other videos. You can see some of the adventures that we've already gone on. We're just going to make these videos as they come. Some of them will kind of be retrospective, but in 2 months we get on the boat and we'll start doing some live, watch us learn as we do it videos. And just hope you enjoy coming along with us.
Yes, please join us for the adventure.
Thanks. See you later.
Bye.